Access to the Monte Zone will be granted shortly. Please stand by. Access to the Monte Zone will be granted shortly. Please stand by.
It's Friday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the Monte Zone.
What up?
Whoop, whoop. Good evening,
Yay.
everyone. Good evening. Oh, I think I went to the wrong screen. I went to go to that one. Good evening, everyone. It is Friday. I even got the right day for a change. I mean, that rarely ever happens. But maybe I'm on the ball this evening. Who knows? You never can tell.
Yeah, considering how long it's been since we've done a Monte Zone, and I'm surprised you got that right. Well done.
I even found the right pictures and everything. Yeah. Yeah, there's no holodeck behind us or anything like that. I am on the ball. Yes, but welcome back to the Monte Zone. It's been a little while. It's been 2 or 3 months, and this is our November podcast in December, so we're doing well.
Yeah, it's all paranormal, you know.
It is.
You can explain it. We have technically travelled back in time, back to yesterday into November.
Yes, we've done some time travelling back a day.
Evening to everyone. Thank you for everyone that's liked this stream so far. If you haven't done so, please like it. But good evening to Sean and good evening to Andy. Good to see you guys joining us.
Yes. Now, it is an open mic night tonight, so if anybody wants to come and talk to us about any topics they wish, there is a link in live chat there, a link to the studio, so you can meet us in the studio, or if you don't want to come on to the stream, feel free to post your topics of conversation you want us to talk about in live chat there, and we will pick them up and discuss them. If there's things you think you've seen that we might not have seen, or anything you want to talk about, really, feel free to post them in live chat.
Awesome.
Yes, I will say that past couple of weeks I've been suffering really badly with asthma, and I'm like wheezing away. So if I do get into a coughing fit or wheeze into the mic, I do apologise. My chest is not good. Is this the time of year, G? Is this transition to cold?
Yeah, there's also been an infection going around, which basically it lingers.
Yeah. To be honest, I got red wine as well. That probably doesn't help. I probably shouldn't be drinking the red wine. It's maybe a link there. But yes. This evening, we have both myself and G. We have brought a couple of things to share with you, just in case we dry up of things to talk about.
Don't get anybody to join us.
Yeah, if nobody wants to join us, we do have some things to share with you. How successful that'll be, I don't know. But and we haven't shared what we've got with each other, so it's going to be a complete random surprise to the other one. And we put
no preparation,
0 preparation into this, and it might surprise you, but usually the Monte Zone we research and we prep for. I know it might not seem like it, but we do. We do. I said do. We do prep into it, but this week we're just flying by the seat of our pants.
I am still here. I'm just sort of fixing something on my camera.
You're just making yourself look beautiful. Oh, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, you need a face filter or something like that.
I will be right back.
No worries. Yes, so I think we'll probably take it whilst we're going through the things we've brought for this evening. If I do one of mine and then you do one of yours, and then I'll do one of mine and you do one of yours.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah, sounds like about right. If you are joining later, please say hi to us in live chat. Obviously, I've got my glass of wine this evening. If you have a Friday evening drink because it's the weekend, let me know in live chat what you've got to go along with the Monte Zone this evening.
Sorry, my camera thing, the app on my PC has died. I'm just trying to re-establish it.
Oh.
You can still hear me, right? I
can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Right. Well, what I'll do then is I'll start with my first show and tell topic. Shall I?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So, people might know this about me. I don't know, but I'm kind of addicted to YouTube. I kind of watch YouTube all the time. One of the YouTubers I watch on a regular basis is a chap called Charlie. He's also known as Penguin Zero, and also he's known as Moist Critical. I don't know. Let me know in chat if any of those names are ringing a bell with you, if you know who Charlie is. He's from Tampa, Florida. He's basically a gamer, but he delivers daily YouTube videos about any topic really, something silly in the news, some YouTube dramas going on, he'll post about it, or he'll do a rating of the best flavor of Doritos or something like that. But about a month ago, I noticed he posted a Bigfoot video. About a Bigfoot video. So I put that in the back of my head, sort of saved the link and thought, right, well, if we've got nothing else to talk about, I'm going to play Penguin Zero's his take on a Bigfoot video. Now, I will preface this by saying I haven't seen this myself. So just
sorry to interrupt. What do you mean by his take on a Bigfoot video?
Well, I think he's just showing it and talking about it. I mean, that's what he generally does. He's a lot of his stuff is kind of reaction. So
Right, got
as
you.
he's like this, just sitting talking to chat, and they'll say, "Oh, have you seen this bit of news or something?" And he'll play it, and then you'll get his reaction, sort of thing. I'm imagining, as I said, I haven't actually watched it, so I will put a trigger warning on it because I don't know what Charlie's reaction is to Bigfoots and this sort of content. Big feet.
Yeah, what do you call a plural of a Bigfoot?
I don't know.
Bigfoots.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what how this is going to go, but the whole video is about 6 minutes, but we'll watch a bit of it and see how it goes.
Cool.
I've got a feeling Sean's just making a dad joke.
Oh, you got to do the rolling tumbleweed.
Have I? Is that appropriate, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this is Penguin Zero Bigfoot video. Let's see.
I'm sure all of you know this about me by now, but I love cryptids.
Just want to say, I don't know if you have ever seen Penguin Zero or Charlie before, but he always delivers his video in a kind of like, hi, I don't know if you've heard about this, but he's got a very sort of laid back, it's deadpan, yes. He's deadpan. And he always says he's the savior of the Hunger Games franchise because he got a bit part in the very first Hunger Games movie. He's in one of the crowd scenes at the back. You can't even see him. But according to Charlie, he's the savior of the entire franchise. But anyway.
Such a huge cryptid enthusiast. You would catch me at like a Bigfoot convention if they were hosted anywhere close.
Oh, I forgot. I need to share it in a particular way if you're going to hear it. They can hear it at home, but hang on a minute. Just for you, G. Do that with shared audio. Here you go.
Sean's found Jesus.
Yes, he often gets called Jesus. He also founded the Moist Critical Multiverse, where a whole bunch of his fans all dress up as him and say his sayings, and they all like cluster around like multiple versions of Moist Critical. It's quite funny. Anyway,
Tampa. I love it. If you don't know what cryptids are, I'll just briefly summarize it.
Oh, he likes them at least. Oh, that's one of my fears over and done with.
Creatures that are claimed to exist, but no concrete proof has ever confirmed their existence. So things like Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, Chupacabra, Goatman, Mothman, Batman, things like that. And there's entire
I think there is a Batman, isn't there?
dedicated to hunting them down and proving that they're real. And they come up with their own fun technology for it, like, a Sasquatch reader, where it'll be like a codename Kids Next Door device. Basically, it's like a fucking toaster with like an antenna sticking off of it that's supposed to pick up on.
Do people use Bigfoot readers? I don't think so.
What do you mean by readers?
I don't know. Do people use technology when hunting Bigfoots? I mean, imagine you got like, sound recorders and things like that. And maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, some examples of people are starting to use a lot of heat sensor cameras. And they're also starting to use heat sensor trail cams. Drones are obviously becoming quite popular within the sort of Sasquatch hunting scene. I would say that's probably, other than camera, that's probably the extent of equipment that I know about anyway.
Let me know in chat. Let me know if you can hear this okay, by the way.
On, electromagnetic waves that Bigfoot disperses out or whatever. It's just really fun. I've never seen real evidence that proves the existence of any of these cryptids, but I am always glued to any and all new updates around it. And today we were blessed with a big one for the biggest cryptid, Bigfoot.
An elusive creature.
Oh God.
Have you seen this?
Down.
Yes.
Oh.
See your camera, I'll do it.
Oh, I'm glad you've seen it then.
That little bastard thought he could go for a
I literally only saved this because Moist Critical was talking about it, and I love listening to Moist Critical, so I just wanted to see it, but I didn't know if it would be a thing that you'd seen or not. Was this about a month ago you saw this then? Was it about a month?
I would say probably about 3 months ago.
About 3 months ago. Yeah.
I mean yeah, no, because I know that because I was definitely waiting for it, but Think Thunker's done a video on it.
Right.
So it must have been circulating for a few months, I think.
Just
Now.
going to go back and...
An elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down.
You just squatted down for, take a shit, I guess, or something of that nature. Good evening, Unexplained Files. Evening, lads. They just popped in and said hello.
That little bastard thought he could go for a leisurely picnic one afternoon and we wouldn't notice. Hooey! Thanks to technology advancing as far as it has, we were able to capture this moment in glorious 4K. We have technology on us at all times with our phones that's able to record these situations. And
so I'm guessing as you groaned when that footage came up and you've seen it like a few months ago that you've probably got some more information about it. Have you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
give proof.
Let's see if he says
claims
anything
that have
about it.
existed
and,
for
then
I'll wait for this to
We
play out.
caught this
and see what
fuzzy
he says.
fuck face red-handed. He went out there, he squatted down, maybe taking a shit, maybe getting ready to eat. We're not entirely sure yet, but one thing's for sure. This lit the Bigfoot community ablaze. Now, obviously, the cryptid community is no stranger to hoaxes. There's been many frauds out there that have faked footage and sightings and evidence and all of that. But this one, many are saying, is legitimate. So I'll give you a little backstory on it in just a moment. But
So just fact check. Did people think that was legitimate when it first came out?
There was, I would say, there was a definite percentage of people that were commenting to videos of it that were being shared that was, saying that it was some of the best footage that they had seen.
Right. Wow. Okay.
But I do want to say, there are different levels of cryptid enthusiasts. There's the ones that will believe anything, even just like a random post on, GameSpot.com forums or something, from like a completely anonymous user that says, the chupacabra just broke into my house and sucked grandpappy's cock. Like, I can't believe what I just witnessed with that one. And they'll be like, I knew the chupacabra was out there, and apparently it's a sex offender. They'll just take it at face value. Like, I bet I could reach out here and be like, I got your nose, and they'd freak out like, oh shit, my nose. But that's not the whole community. There's a lot of people that enjoy cryptids that understand that there is a different level of evidence required to prove the existence of the creatures. And in this case, there is a lot of them that are saying, this is pretty compelling. So let's go over the story. So a woman named Shannon, along with her husband, were on a train in Colorado.
Oh, so he has got
and they
the
noticed
information
something
then.
odd out in the distance. There was this goofy-looking creature going for a little stroll, and
Yeah, they're on a train.
So they're on a train in Colorado. I mean, you actually can see it there in the... it does look like a Harry and the Henderson kind of Bigfoot-looking guy.
Yep.
Do you get a lot of Bigfoot sightings in Colorado?
Yeah, you do. I mean, Colorado's not too far away from, where the most famous because it's on the West Coast, but it's not a great mass away from where was it? Summit Creek, where Patty was filmed.
Oh, right.
Oh God, what was the name of the creek? Forgot it now. It's been such a while since I've been talking about the subject, but yeah, that was in California. So Colorado, California, yeah.
Next door. Mhm.
her, as well as a few other passengers at the back of the locomotive, took notice, took pictures, took the video, And according to Shannon, they had been naysayers when it comes to Bigfoot, but seeing was believing. Now, even in the zoomed in photo, it's actually kind of hard to make out the full creature here. It looks like he's entered stealth mode. So perhaps Sasquatch are born with some innate ability to camouflage themselves here, and that's how they've been able to elude us for so long, those crafty little devils. And she states that it didn't cause a big panic or a big uproar on the train, and that if the passengers at the back hadn't noticed it, it would have gone completely under the radar and no one would have ever seen it. So they believe it's a legitimate sighting because it seems like a random chance encounter that they, just happened
Just
to
2
see.
secs. Pause it
It
a moment.
wasn't like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Jack Link's.
What's the timestamp? 4:21. Okay, so it was probably around about 3:30. I want to go back to later, but carry on. Sorry.
Commercial that they stumbled upon. It was nothing like that. It really, to them, felt like they just witnessed a miracle here with a Sasquatch walk. So, now it's time for an expert to weigh in. Me. What do I think about all this? I think this is a bunch of baloney. I really think what most likely happened here is some jokester, a practical prankster, put on a Bigfoot costume and just walked out there hoping that people on the train would see him and it'd lead to a big viral video and it'd just lead to headlines basically.
I can understand what he's saying because it did kind of look like your sort of atypical Bigfoot suit type thing. But why would you go out there in the middle of nowhere in the vain hope that someone on a train is going to happen to spot you when you're pretty camouflaged with the background? It seems like a bit of a, stretch, but I mean, that probably is what happened. But can you imagine? Maybe you go out there every day for a week, and finally someone spots you.
For no other reason than just to have a little fun. It's not exactly the hardest thing in the world to get a Bigfoot costume and just walk out here into this field. Like, I don't think it's so disconnected from civilization that it wouldn't happen. And even if it is actually pretty far away, there are no limits to the lengths people will go to for a joke, especially something like this. And everything here just really strikes all the boxes of being suspiciously set up. Not by the people on the train. I really think everyone on the train was in no way, shape, or form involved in it as like some kind of big plan. It's just this guy and maybe a couple friends decided to do this because it'd be fun. And that's it. I really don't think this is real proof of Bigfoot. I just don't. Would
So
love to be proven
Charlie
wrong.
doesn't
Maybe
believe.
we get some master
No.
Sasquatch super soldier out there that's able to use this video, get the exact
So what do you think then, or what have you heard, or
What do I know?
what do you know?
Well, basically, I'll tell you a bit of a journey on this because, well, first and foremost, if I was doing content right now, I would have probably, done a video, a vault on this for sure. And that was because, it's the first piece of footage in a while that's kind of sort of blown up on the internet. But and just to explain, sorry, because I haven't really talked about it, I guess use this opportunity just to, I guess apologize to people that I haven't been doing any content, both on this channel, The Vault, and on the Underground Paradox. I'm just not in the situation where I can do content right now. And so I'm hoping that the situation will change in the new year or sometime in next year. But for now, unfortunately, I'm sadly just in a situation where even sort of kind of doing these Monte zones is going to be a stretch. So, and for those of you that follow, you know that I've had a difficult 2023 and that's just not got any better. So I do apologize to people, but if I was doing content, I would have definitely done a vault on this video. Now, I'll tell you the journey of it. I obviously saw that it was starting to blow up on the internet. A lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people were backing it up. And
It must have blown up if Charlie's talking about it.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it blew up, I guess if I'm to jump into the psychology of this a little bit, is because it looks so ridiculous, as in you hit the nail on the head, and it's something that's been said a lot, is that it looks like, you know, the creature out of the Hendersons.
It does.
And it looks like exactly the same costume, so it looks so incredibly cheddar cheese, that, you know, a lot of people then did the sort of double psychology of going, well, but why would somebody go out all that way into the wilderness in the hope that they'd be caught by somebody on a train and do something in a suit?
Well, that's what I
Well,
thought.
the fact is, here's some information around this
Okay,
situation. So, when I first started watching the video, I'll tell you what my first instinctual reaction was. It was a bunch of absolute nonsense. And the reason why I instantly thought that is, if you follow the Bigfoot phenomenon like I do and a lot of other people do, you will know stuff about body mechanics around Bigfoot and some of the best evidence. And Thinker Thunker does a lot of the body mechanics. He has this thing that's called, I think it's PDNA, where he's taking measurements of creatures like Patty, you know, from the famous Gimlin and Patterson footage. And he's done measurements of their distance between their elbow and their hand, and their sort of thigh and their knee, and then the full length of their leg. And he uses this measurement because if then you get a piece of footage of somebody claiming it's a Bigfoot, you can use it as a base model to go, well, hold on, the distance between, you know, the person's thigh and the foot is the same as what a human's would be. Or do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you follow that, you kind of already get an idea of watching out for things. And as soon as I watch this video, the way in which the thing walks is nothing like a Bigfoot. It is everything instantly looks human.
Yeah.
The knee joints don't work properly. The legs are far too long, and even just the way it crouches down on the floor isn't right. And so, you know, instantly I was thinking, oh, I hope somebody like Thinker Thunker proves me, because I was on, you know, videos, and I was commenting, going, I think this is a load of bullshit, and I basically was so convinced that it was a person in a suit that I thought it must be some sort of tourist stunt. And it is. And basically, the train that the people took the photo from is not like a train that's traveling from, it's a tourist train. It's like a train ride. And right near where this train goes through these mountains is a Bigfoot museum and a Bigfoot shop where they sell Bigfoot suits. And they often go out onto the mountainside to try and wave at the people on the train, and it's a marketing thing to promote the Bigfoot museum and the Bigfoot shop that's around in the near vicinity to this location.
So this is just outside the town.
Yeah, so this was nobody actually, I think, probably in difference to what Charlie said, is that he's saying, oh, I don't think it's the people that took the footage. I think the people that took the footage must have known that they were seeing what was like a tourist ploy, but then they've uploaded it because they thought, oh, it looked good, it might trick some people, or it might just create a little bit of a hoo-ha and do this for a bit of fun. So I don't maybe think there was anything malicious in it, but definitely the people behind the whole thing have come forward and said, yeah, that's us doing it.
Right.
And Thinker Funker's done a video on it as well to prove that instantly it doesn't, like, he did one of his shortest videos that he's ever done, just to go, instantly you can see that this is a human because of the way in which all the joints and the leg and the arm measurements work out, and they fit you know, a common human base scale.
Right. I was just trying to see if I can. Okay.
Let us know in comments what you think, or if you've heard anything about it, if you agree with me, or yeah. Let us know.
Right.
Join in the conversation.
So I just very quickly, I just done this. So it's this. There's a there's a train line somewhere here. There's a train line. So there's this train line here, and it comes out of Durango.
Yes, Durango. That's it.
Durango, and it's literally like as they're passing here, they're looking across to this hill here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually like kind of still in the town, pretty much. So
Yeah.
the person wouldn't have to walk, like they'd only have to walk probably up the hill from their house. They're not even having to go like miles into the countryside. They're just skipping across Main Avenue here, walking up the side of the hill, and then as this train passes this road, people look out over to this hill and see someone walking across the hill. Because my instant thought was, why would someone walk all the way out into the wilderness in a costume, just on the off chance of being filmed? But yes. I can't see a big.
He must have done he must have done a sort of quite a quick reaction or response to that video, because else, given what his opinion was at the end of it, I'm sure he would have presented that information. But that information, it was like the video landed. And as I said, I was pretty quick off the mark to start sort of seeing a lot of the buzz and it appearing on various different channels. And yeah, I guess, instantly for me, I saw it. And as I said, I just like, no, somebody's got to prove that that's not real, because that's definitely not real. And then it sort of took a number of weeks until like information was flooding through. But even quite early on, there was a lot of people putting comments in there going, no, that's the town in Colorado, Durango, where they do that quite regularly. And there's a person that goes out in a suit, and it's a definite thing that the shop, or it's a shop or a museum or whatever it is that's there. But they do it as a sort of tourist thing and a marketing thing to kind of promote, because Colorado, like we were discussing before you started playing the video, is quite a hot spot for Sasquatch and Bigfoot encounters, content, evidence. Colorado, I think, is where the famous recording was taken, or maybe that was in California again. No, I think that was in California. I was going to say about the famous sounds of the Sasquatch talking to each other. For the love of God, I can't remember the name of that either.
No, I can't
find.
I was just trying to find a Bigfoot shop in Durango, see if I could find one, but I can't find one. So
it might not even be a shop or a museum. It might be a group of Bigfoot enthusiasts that sort of do it.
What is right around that corner, or right on that corner that I just showed you, is a big outdoor shop for like hunting and
that might be it.
Hiking stuff. It might be that. It might be like, get yourself a good pair of binoculars and thermal imaging gear or something, because we got Sasquatches around these hills.
Yeah, but it came out. The reason why I'm sort of saying to you this is pretty much fact is it came out that they said no, that because they weren't part of any they weren't part of any hoax. They didn't set up for somebody to do that. It's just something they do regularly. Somebody was on that train, and they must have known that it was something to do with it was almost like a kind of show or whatever, but they've kind of then uploaded it as if it was like, oh my God, we saw this thing like just on a train as we're traveling through the mountains.
Yeah.
So you instantly get this idea that it's like, people on a proper, transport train going from one place to the other.
I tell you another weird thing I've just found. I'm just looking on the fly here, right? So, look at this, right? I suppose I better share it with the sound. Here we go. So this is 9 News. Right?
What?
This is
9 News.
9 News about it, right?
Trending this morning, a video of what looks like Bigfoot walking around southern Colorado. Take a look and see.
Oh,
what you
I
think.
see.
A couple shared this video on social media saying they spotted Bigfoot while riding the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad train. They told Out There Colorado most people on the train didn't notice anything. Over the years, there have been more than 100 reported Bigfoot sightings.
I tell you what, looking at it there, look.
They spotted Bigfoot.
You look at those. You look at the legs, and it does look like a baggy sort of cheapy ass, like synthetic,
terrible.
synthetic haired, doesn't it? Like so shiny and.
Riding the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad train. They told Out There Colorado most people on the train didn't notice
Sometimes
anything.
you just got to follow
Over
your
the years, there have been
instincts
more than
and
100
not get caught
reported
into the trap of
Bigfoot
double
sightings in
psychology of
Colorado.
thinking, oh, it looks so terrible. It must be real.
I got confused because the beginning of the report shows someone driving a car. But I think that's just the tail end of the previous.
Trending this morning.
I think that's just the end of the. And I was like, they weren't even in a train. But no, I think that's just the previous thing. Anyway, that was my first thing.
I love that you brought something Bigfoot. That was cool.
The chances of me finding something in that area that you hadn't heard about was pretty slim, to be fair.
Yeah.
I was shooting for the moon and missed.
I may not have time to film or record or edit content, but I'm still, keeping up with what's going on. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I just actually started watching. So somebody else who's come back onto the scene again after a big long, I think it was a 7-month break, is Justin from Mountain Beast Mysteries. So he started doing some videos about Sasquatch again. So I started on my lunch hour today watching part of one of his latest videos.
Can I just have a quick shout out to my sister?
Yeah.
Who has supplied me with the red wine I'm drinking this evening. And, Mazin with Bob supplied me red wine, so it's not your Hardy Stamp Bin 61. This is a
Sainsbury's red wine.
This is a 2016 Chateau Fontanelli. Fontanelli, Ferronsac. A Chateau Fontanelli Ferronsac. And I have to say, it's so smooth and vanilla-y, but slightly oaky. I don't know what she's given me, but I have a feeling that that's probably a couple of quid's worth. So thank you, Mazin Bob, for a lovely red wine.
Very spoiled.
Things please me in life.
You can't sell a red wine to me because I've never met one that I like. So, would you mind going back to the video again?
Which one?
Just playing it from around the one that you were just showing, and play it around from, I think it was 3:30 timestamp.
Do you mean
Charlie's?
Moist? Moist Critical. Around 3:30, was it?
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Let's see.
So let's go over the story. So a woman named Shannon,
this
along
bit?
with her husband, were on a train in Colorado, and they
no,
noticed
a
something
bit further
odd out
on.
in the distance. There was this goofy-looking creature going for a little stroll, and her, as well as a few other passengers at the back of the locomotive, took notice, took pictures, took the video, and according to Shannon, they had been naysayers when it comes to Bigfoot, but seeing was believing. Now, even in the zoomed-in photo, it's actually kind of hard to make out the full
It's the
creature
bit where he
here.
says
It
about,
looks like he's entered stealth mode. So perhaps
in the
Sasquatch are
community,
born with
you've
some
got
innate
people that
ability
would
to
just
camouflage
believe
themselves
anything.
here, and that's how they've been able to elude us for so
That whole
long.
bit.
Those crafty little devils. And she states that it didn't cause a big, and that if the passengers at the back hadn't noticed, just happened to see it. It's like that, it really to them felt. Oh, now it's time
I
for an
think it's
expert
when
to
he-
weigh in. Me.
There you go. This
What
is
do
it.
I think about all this? I think this is a bunch of baloney. I really think what most likely happened here is some jokester, a practical
Oh, no, maybe it's
prankster,
not.
put
no,
on
was it a bit
Bigfoot
earlier?
couple believe anything, even just
Oh,
like
here
you.
you go.
Oh, there you
So
go.
I'll give you a little backstory on it in just a moment, but I do want to say
This bit.
there are different
Yeah.
levels of cryptid enthusiasts. There's the ones that will believe anything, even just like a random post on, GameSpot.com forums or something from like a completely anonymous user that says, the chupacabra just broke into my house and sucked grandpappy's cock. Like, I can't believe what I just witnessed with that one. And they'll be
Is that
like,
what you
I
wanted to
knew
hear?
the chupacabra was
Yeah,
out there,
just pause
and
it there.
apparently it's a sex offense.
I just find it nice to hear somebody. It's the sort of thing that I've talked about quite a lot, and sometimes when I watch back some of my videos, which I have been doing recently, which will lead on to my one big thing, my one of my things that I'm bringing, and that is that I watch them back and I think, why am I so focused and honed in on this, talking about there's different levels of believers and open-minded and skeptic, and I think it's because as a enthusiast, because he says within the cryptid there's different levels of cryptid enthusiast, and I love the subject and I love the research, so I like to join different groups and follow different channels, but it's upsetting and it's disappointing when you have to leave certain groups, or you can't enjoy it because there's just so many people who share so much ridiculous stuff, and it pollutes the people taking it seriously or giving it any sort of credibility, and you just end up being frustrated all the time. And I
Do you think it's just lonely people going, look at me, look at me?
Yeah, I think
Pay me attention.
I've just come to the conclusion that that's why I'm obsessed about it and talk about it a lot. But I thought to myself just the other day, like, why am I honed in on this? But at least it's good to hear somebody else talking about having a similar mindset and recognizing the fact that it's just troubled because there's different levels. I guess you could say that about any area of the paranormal as well. When it comes to things like UFOs or alien connection, there's people who will just believe anything and say anything, and then there's other people that want to have a bit more of a balanced approach, and you just end up getting frustrated because you have to. I've left so many different groups, which when I first joined them, you start off enjoying, and then people are just encouraging this really ridiculous content sharing that just puts a lot of people off. So it's a shame, but I just thought it was interesting to hear somebody else talk about it.
Yeah, and someone sort of contemporary like Charlie, who's like a gamer. It's not his normal thing. But there we go.
I think his headphone cable is very unfortunate because it looks like an IV going into his arm.
Yeah, he's literally like used the same setup, the same mic, the same camera, the same everything, same white T-shirt for about the last decade. Like, hasn't changed a thing. Like, he must make millions now, and he hasn't upgraded anything. He's
got 14.1 million followers, so
he doesn't do any intros. There's no intros. There's no fancy editing. It's usually like It's just him talking for like 6-10 minutes, and that's it. Done. Every day, every single day.
He must have started off early in the world of YouTube.
He started off when he was like 13. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, there's Charlie. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Monte, for bringing something Bigfoot.
Yeah, you're very welcome. There's been absolutely nothing in chat from anyone. I even asked them if they're drinking anything. Nothing. There's just nothing. So we'll just keep going and talking amongst ourselves.
Maybe our audience are just really good listeners.
Yeah. We're that interesting that they're just happy just listening to us.
Yeah. So one of the things that I was going to bring, just because, I haven't been doing any content as we discussed, and because you sort of mentioned the other night, oh, did I want to do a Monte Zone? I was sort of, I guess you're the same as well, that a lot of the time, for me, when I do content, because it takes such a long time editing it, and you've watched it so many times, that once you finally put it out there, you don't really watch it ever, because you've watched it enough that you're sick of seeing it. So like a lot of my G-Star Vaults that I've not really watched them for maybe a year and a half, a year or whatever, and I just thought I would go through some of the, I don't know how many episodes it is now that I've done, I think 33 or something like that. But I thought I would go through and maybe have a bit of fun and pick out my top 5 episodes and talk about why they're my within my top 5.
We're doing
and we could also, if you want to, we could also play a little, a few bits.
We're
of them
doing a
off
tier
of,
list of your top 5. Your top 5.
But I'm not doing it based on views or anything like that. I'm doing it on ones that I either enjoyed filming, or now as going back and watching them again, there's aspects of it that I enjoy. So I thought I would share.
I told you before, this is Andy. I told you before about having my name called out when I've been camping. Even when I asked my mate, what did you say? He said, it wasn't me. But it's not the first time. I'm not quite sure what that means.
I don't know if he's pretending that he's the guy in the Bigfoot suit.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Are we thinking Andy looks a bit like a Bigfoot?
I don't know.
He is stealthy, and that Bigfoot was kind of stealthy. So
Evening, Smiler.
Well, evening. Good evening, Smiler. Hope you're well. Yeah. So what's da, 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 da. Hello, Bob Pickers. In at number 5.
Yes, I am going to start in reverse order. So, number 5 episode, or one of my favorite episodes, is an episode called, and it was the second ever episode, Does This Prove Life on Mars? And Does It Prove Life on Mars had, in its history, it's had 76 views, that's all, and 10 likes. But what I really was impressed about going back and watching it is that I did a double take, because I was like, if I numbered that episode wrong, because that can't be the second episode that I made, because the camera, the audio looks so good. There's even videos that I've done a year after that, or 18 months after that don't look as good as that video looks. So that's something that stood out to me. And
what was it called?
Does This Prove Life on Mars? So it's back when I used to have the original intro to G-Star Vault, and it's episode number 2, GSV 02.
JSV 02. When it's showing me these in order, I
don't know. It's annoying, isn't it?
That's really annoying. It's really annoying. Why aren't these?
Are you trying to find it? It is about 6 from the bottom of the playlist, I think.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Video.
Let's have a quick look at a bit of it.
Yeah, you just have a look at the camera and the audio quality. It's quite good.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to hear it, but you get the message.
And please subscribe to the channel, and also if you are on Facebook,
Ding, ding.
please check out our Facebook page and make sure you
All
follow
right.
us on there. It's thought-provoking.
Look at that. It looks like summer, doesn't it? You've used a filter there.
So, where?
What kind of filter?
I don't know, but a summery one.
Novice, I forgot.
Oh no, it was summer.
You guys
Was it?
about
I think-
something important that I need
Yeah,
to
it was.
do.
This was done about
Because
2
this is
years
called
ago.
G-Stars Vault, and
but
so what I
I'm
wanna
pretty
do
sure it
is,
was done
um,
around
based
summer,
on your
or
comments,
it definitely
based on
wasn't
your
winter.
input, I wanna kind
It's
of
amazing. You've got less
put
grey in
stuff
your
into
beard
the
now
vault
than you
that
did back then.
guys think is really credible, really.
It's a miracle.
Deserves more
I
investigation.
know. I'm.
Feature
What's
in Montes
Benjamin
zone
Button?
if you
That's
haven't done so already.
Benjamin Button.
Or if you know whether you think
I'm
that,
going backwards.
The videos that
Yeah.
I feature
By the end of the show, I'll be down here.
February 2021.
Anyway, why is this number 5 then?
Well, as I said, I really liked the fact that nothing to do with paranormal or anything like that. Just thought, hey, for the second ever episode they've done, there's episodes much later down the line that look worse quality than this. I also, going back and watching it, I was quite proud of some points that I was making about pareidolia. And specifically Mars pareidolia, because this video is, if you remember, it's all about this piece of rock where it looks like it's got a face in it. And it's, as I said, second ever video, so I'm sort of talking to the audience a lot about pareidolia and what the meaning of it is. But I'm talking about the main face on Mars, and
Yeah.
how in a lot of people's minds that's been disproven as a face, because if you look at it from ground level or from other angles, it's got to do with certain times that the light shines on it, that it would look like that. But my argument was almost, again, like doing a double take, is, well, we have structures on Earth, and in the video I show some examples of structures and designs that are on Earth that are only made for you to see them in a certain way by looking at them from a certain angle, like the sky looking down. And so if you looked at them from ground level, they wouldn't look like what we think they look like from from an aerial view. So who's to say that that wasn't always the intention?
Like the
You get in one
NASCAR, like the NASCAR lines. Is it the NASCAR lines?
If you just move the video on about a minute or so, or you'll see examples.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you talk about them there. There we are. Yeah. But most of them you can't see from the ground. You have to be up in the air.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a conscious decision that was made. And who's to say, if there wasn't a previous civilization on Mars, that they made a similar decision? So just because it doesn't look like a face at all times or from the ground level doesn't mean that there isn't some intelligence behind it. But it was just another way of looking at it. But I thought it was kind of a cool point to make.
Yeah. And Sean, no, this smiley face here is not Ollie Murs or Bruno Mars, unfortunately. No.
Why is there a video of Ollie Moore dressed like Bruno Mars? Oh, I love that. Oh, that's funny, Sean. Thank you. We're not going to give you the tumbleweeds for that one.
No.
That's okay. That was quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my main reasons for choosing this episode.
Coming in at number 4.
Number 4 was best tips.
I'll stop
Again,
doing that now.
quite a fairly early one. This was the 6th episode that I ever did. and it was called "Best Tips to Investigate UFO Content,"
Oh,
and it was the video. The reason why I like this one is because it was the video where I first introduced A cards, and you know, that went on to be used quite a lot, and it's something that I still think about, you know, right now. And I like how I put A cards together because it could give anybody an easy way to kind of look at the different elements of content when you're studying, not just for UFOs, but specifically for UFOs. It's extremely helpful. This video only had 68 views in its history and only 12 likes. So again, I'm just saying that because I'm not choosing the videos that had the biggest views or whatever.
And you're
what
not
I
wearing a
liked-
hat. It's unusual.
I know that's quite a
It's
shock,
it's
isn't it?
a bit
So
of a
that's
shocker.
that's one of the other reasons why I chose it, because I was obviously having a confident hair day. But,
I
which is
never
very
have any.
rare
I
for
never
me.
have them. No.
No,
Hiya,
not for a long
Tabbykins. I
time
hope
anyway.
you're well. Yeah.
Hey, evening, Tabby. But one of the things that I liked about this episode, and again, sorry that it's not sort of within the actual paranormal content what it's about, but it was just that I think, if I remember rightly, this was filmed not too long after we did the first Bigfoot Monte zone that we did with Ben and
Oh yeah.
Daniel. So, and that Monte zone was one of our first where we had a really good reaction and a good audience. So I was full of confidence coming off of that, I think. And one of the things that I like about this video is that I'm making mistakes and errors in it, and almost like what you want to call bloopers, but I just keep them in because I don't care.
Just keep rolling with it. That's the way, isn't it? You just got to keep rolling.
Yeah. And I like
Get
that
it out
element
there.
of it.
Get it out there.
But no, I think I chose this one primarily because of the A carts, and I think the way I put that together and then showed some examples of how you can apply A carts to different content when you review it. I used a specific example of one video that was like a public video, and then I used A carts on some of the three pieces of footage that came from the Pentagon, as in the FLIR, the Tic Tac, and the gimbal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of I give this number 4 position.
Number 4 for A carts and that whole journey into that stuff.
Yeah. And if you're watching and you've never seen these, you know, please do go and check them out. So,
straight in at number 3.
yes, number 3, finally coming to the furry man himself. Bigfoot is back. This was, I don't know.
GSV 9.
Sounds about right.
Bigfoot is back.
And this is probably one of the first.
Welcome to
one of my G-Star. That's definitely
fault.
summer.
Bigfoot is back.
In the
It
flesh.
is really, really
With
hot
sunburn.
in the
What
UK.
looks like sunburn.
You're looking pink.
Pink, yeah, reddish. But I think that's the vest that's not helping with that. That was a bad vest decision with the current. Yeah. But this was probably one of the first videos that got quite, other than the obvious one, WTF, massive Bigfoot. This got quite a lot of views in its history. It's had 422 views, 25 likes.
425 views now.
What? 425?
425, yeah.
Wow. And what I really liked about this video, and this is the first one where I'm going to talk about the content of what it was. I got this video quite quick. Like, I filmed it. I just quickly got down to the cabin. I had to film it because I came across this content and I thought, you know what, this is going to go big. I need to get something out about this and talk about it. And so I was quite quick off the mark and got this video out quicker than some of the big channels that cover the subject matter did and talked about it. I certainly got my take on this footage out before Thinker Thunker did his take on it. So I was pretty pleased with that. Also, this is the video that shows the intro with the cabin, like where I am now. And I kind of like that feature of it because that's the only time that I've ever shown that on the intro. So I like that about it. But some of the points that I publicly made about this footage, 2 months or however later, Thinker Thunker makes the same conclusions and he makes the same points as well. And so I was pretty impressed with that as well. But to remind everybody what this one was about, this was about if Mark just clicks around into about the middle of the video.
I will say, just playing this.
Right now, today, right at this second.
I think your
about
mic's
20
a bit better now. Your mic is a bit better.
Oh, yeah, the audio on this is terrible.
Oh, is that
This is
one?
what I mean. Is that the audio on
Feature, so
episode
it's the
number
best
2 is better than
resolution,
the
and I
audio
zoom
on
in on-
episode number 9.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is the Cass River crossing. And this still stands up, probably now. It's only back in 2021. How long does it say this was supposed to? Yeah, 2 years ago. So 2021. So it's pretty recent, but I would probably be quite confident to say that it's already now made its way into the top 5 of,
Bigfoot sightings. Videos.
Yeah, like credible evidence, because it's hard to disprove, because a lot of people will say that, and a lot of people have said that this is, a hunter in a hunter suit and waders or something like that. But a lot of people, including Thinker Thunker, have gone a long way to show you how that isn't possible. It's just, it just isn't, because even in like hunters waders that you can buy in the US, there's certain colors that they have to stick to. It's the rules, because hunting is very, very much finely controlled. So if any retailer wants to retail like hunting equipment, they have to stick to certain kind of colors and prints and patterns they can have for it to fit in with safety guidelines. And the colors of this, if you do like zoom in stuff, that these guys do that have all the top equipment, you can see that it's not a suit. But yeah, it's one of those things that's just grown more and more momentum, and people come back with more and more analysis.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was number 3.
Dun, 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 dun. It was last week's number 1, but now down to number 2. What is it?
I'm just looking at Smiler's comments saying, not sure how the closed caption will cope with the German accent.
No. That's a good point.
Okay, sorry. Number 2, staying with the hairy man.
Staying with him.
And that my number 2, just behind number, I and ahed about whether this should sit in the number 1 position, but it got number 2, and it's Bigfoot, the best of the best special. That's had 296 views and 20 likes. And the reason why I picked this as my number 2 is
but anyway,
it's
so
the
going back to this
first ever video that I did on location, pretty much, and it opened the door and my appetite to do like the content that I do for the
realizing
Underground
that
Paradox.
give me footage. I thought,
And,
okay,
But in this
this
one,
is
this was
a
like,
lot more
I guess, a bit of
interesting.
a transition video, because in it I'm still kind of reviewing and discussing other content. And that brings me on to the other thing that I love about this video, and again, a very proud moment for me. And that is that in this video, I was talking about the footage that you were just playing there, that you just landed on. Can't remember what they call the footage. It's not important.
MVTV or
Yeah,
MVTV
it came from MVTV, but it's been given a specific name or whatever. But anyway, the very first time I watched this footage, I was just like infuriated. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so obvious that is faked. That is so not real." And so in the Bigfoot special, I'm talking about why I would justify that I'm entitled to have my opinion of why this is fake and give off a lot of explanations. And at that time, that was just my instinctual personal opinion. And then about 2 or 3 months after, um, I found the original video of this video that was filmed from a filming shoot. So everything I said about it was 100% right again.
Yeah.
It was originally filmed in color. It was filmed for a film. So what it was is it's basically an off-cut, deleted shot scene that somebody got hold of, and then they manipulated it by turning it black and white, making it look old, putting an old filter on it, put it out there, and it just blew up the internet. And so many people, even to this day, will sit there and comment and go, "This is some of the best footage I've ever seen. It's so obvious that this is the real deal," and it infuriates me. Because again, I wouldn't ever say something is fake wholeheartedly unless I knew it was actually fake, and this I actually know is fake.
It's fake. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pretty pleased that I called that out instinctively and got backed up on it. So yeah, that was a pretty proud moment.
So, I don't know. I can't remember the tune now.
Sounded a bit like Question Time, Question
yeah.
of Sport.
Yeah, it was what I was singing was actually, or humming was the charts music from like the 1970s, but
right.
the top 40.
That's it.
And at
Number one, I've cheated a little bit here, and number one is Jaw-Dropping UFO Part 1 and Part 2. So I've picked both videos, but I think you can't have one without the other. Part 1 had 1,260 views and 28 likes, and Part 2 has had 338 views and 12 likes.
Jaw dropping. I can't even find it. What one?
It's George. The first one is probably about, I don't know, halfway down, just slightly past halfway down the playlist, I think.
GSV8.
Might be. It's got
UFO
grey.
footage.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, special UFO footage. Special
No.
UFO footage.
No,
That's
no,
got a part 2.
it's no. Yeah, it's not that one. It says it says jaw-dropping UFO on the thumbnail.
1,200 views.
Yeah.
Well, it's not got a part 2 though, is it?
Hey, evening, Mickey.
That's not.
You
got
remembered?
That's not got a part 2. That one.
It has. It's further up the playlist because it was done quite recently.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I went back to it about a year
there
after.
it is. All right, yeah, I found it. Oh, well, I'll
Yeah.
play the first one. I'll put the first one on just in the background.
It's not the moon, because the moon doesn't.
So the
carry,
reason why I picked
6 red lights.
these ones. Oh, I was obviously having another good confident hair day. No hat.
Well, look at that! Look, no hats.
No hat.
I
Wow.
caught you mid blink, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done it again.
So the reason why I picked this one and why, yeah, I think this is my number one, and that is because with all the stuff that I do and have done and have looked at and have tried to investigate and research,
Can someone push my
there's
door?
something about this footage that they captured on it that I just think it is. I just think it's real, and I think it's 100% genuine. It's definitely difficult to explain. I've never seen anybody come forward and explain anything about it. But then I don't know if anybody's done a thorough investigation on it. But I loved it then. I love it now. And then obviously, then it came the part 2, because then some other content evidence came my way that was so bang on similar and sort of sits within the same category, I guess. Yeah, but
Guy who
sort of
does a
halfway through, I
YouTube
put
channel
the
that's
two.
called Homestead How.
Stop
The
stop
channel
that there.
is 20 subscribers. So it's kind of lucky that I was able to find this.
Maybe go a
And
bit
so
further
what I'm
on
going
here.
to do is I'm going to put a link in the description.
find
It's a
it.
bit where
Those people, I don't know
It's a
who
bit
it
where I
is,
show.
their
Oh yeah,
channel,
sorry, it's
to kind of
about
give them a little bit of
just
support.
near the end, so about halfway from where you are now. Yeah, just past here. So that's the more recent one, and this was filmed in Wigan, in the UK. Well, not filmed; it was caught on a. These people that set up these time-lapse cameras for astronomical,
Oh, yeah.
the stargazers, and because of the shutter speed on this camera, what they captured wouldn't have been caught by the naked eye because it had to be moving so fast.
Right.
But yeah, if you just continue to move on a little bit more.
But play it or just flick it.
Oh yeah, just play it, and then I'll tell you to stop when it gets to the bit that is relevant. But what I do is basically hold up a picture of the original one from the jaw dropping, and then the one that is recently been captured, which is this one that's on the screen, that was captured in Wigan. And both of them, and they've also fed into another set of videos that I've done, which is all about the rectangular theory, because both
that's
of
the
these
old one.
kind of craft. Yeah, so that's the old one. Wait a minute, if you leave it playing, it'll then bring up both of them side by side, and you can sort of see the similarity between the two. One of them is shot so the first one comes from Utah in America, and then the second one comes from Wigan in the UK. Oh no, Wisconsin, sorry. And then the other one comes from Wigan in the UK. Obviously shot from different angles, but very similar, and sort of very similar in shape. Circumstances of how they were captured on a time-lapse camera, both share that quality as well. And so yeah, I just I can't feel as strongly about the content and the evidence from Wigan as I feel about the one from Wisconsin. Although I can make the similarity, I definitely. Do you know when you just feel something? I feel that there's something that is really, really credible about the first one that I found, and just the circumstances behind it and everything. But I can't talk about the whole video here and go through the whole content. So just urging people, if you haven't seen this and it sounds interesting to you, go and watch the episode. It's probably only about 15 minutes long. Won't take you too long to.
Make you
watch
think it might
Like
be
I said.
Aladdin on his carpet.
Yeah, well, it does kind of look like that sort of thing. But again, yeah, that it influenced me to go into the rectangular theory and start looking at this this trend that seems to be appearing throughout time, and not even just recent. In that rectangular theory episode, I go on to talk about some extremely strong evidence for UAPs and UFOs, and that's the one from Italy from back in 1979. And the famous picture that was taken by an Air Force pilot from the Italian army. And that's kind of like rectangular and barred shape as well. And it's just amazing footage when you think that in 1979, and it was published in the local newspaper as well. So there's, it was originally a black and white version, but that was before CGI was around or special effects that you could do in that sort of way. So incredible photo, and that was rectangular and sort of barge shape. So and possibly seeing one of these crafts at daytime, what those two crafts that we were just looking at would look like in daylight.
Yeah, I just posted a reminder for anyone that wants to join us. That is the link. Please feel free to click that if you want to come into the studio and discuss anything you want, or if there's any topics you want us to cover, feel free to add it in live chat. Oh, did that link not come out?
It didn't that time. It did the first time you did it. So maybe you can only share it the once or something.
No, there you go. I've tried it again.
Yeah.
There you go. Didn't
It has
work.
popped up.
It's popped up. There you go. If you use that link, if you want to come and say hello to us in the studio, feel free to click the link. Yes, so that's your top, well, your top six, I guess.
No, well, I think I'm justified giving 1 and 2 that number 1 spot. I think, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
That was my top 5.
And not a WTF Bigfoot video or in sight.
No,
considering that's
no.
your big viral one.
Yeah, but I just, you know what it's like in the world of YouTube. You put stuff out there, and some of it can be awful and do really, really well, and some of it can be absolutely fantastic, and nobody reacts to it. That's why, most people who do YouTubing or are trying to crack the YouTube scene have mental health problems.
It's me that's supposed to have the bad chest.
No, I was saying to you earlier, there's this thing been going around. A lot of people have had it, where they get sick and it seems just like a normal cold, and then it lingers for about like 8 weeks. And for a lot of people, it's been then turning into a chest infection. And I've heard oodles of people, along with my own other half, been talking about how they've had to go onto inhalers, and the doctors prescribed them inhalers because they're starting to wheeze because it's turned into like this long, unmovable chest infection. And I've had it a little bit because I got sick when the week after I came back from the Canary Islands, and I've never fully, like, it wasn't terrible, but I've never fully recovered from it either.
That's not good, is it?
Sorry if I'm coughing, but I'm not as bad as LJ with his pleurisy and chest infection.
Crikey. Poor LJ. Right, shall we go on to my second topic?
Yay, why not?
Why not? Now, this might be awful. This is a bit of a rogue one, this. Okay. Yeah. Have you heard of Skinny Bob?
Ooh, is this another YouTuber?
No.
Skinny Bob.
It's a colloquial term for a set of videos.
No.
They're only like a minute each. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with this one. But okay. So
I like rabbit holes.
So we'll start with this website. Here we go. So there's this website that's dedicated to a forensic analysis of the Skinny Bob videos. Now, the Skinny Bob videos were posted on YouTube. There is a description of what this is about, but they were posted on YouTube in, I think, 2011. So 12 years ago. Actually, there's a status page. Look, they were posted 12.
Is this the videos where they're interviewing and talking to an alien?
They're not interviewing or talking to an alien, no, but it does feature aliens in it.
Right. Okay.
You might have seen them. We're going to watch them now anyway. They're only like a minute each, so we'll watch them. And this website is dedicated to, well, finding everything they can out about the videos, really. They were posted in a YouTube channel called Ivan0135, which is this YouTube channel. It has
exciting YouTube channel name.
Ivan0135. They have 21.7 thousand subscribers and 4 videos. I only just started the first one. I haven't actually watched these myself, but I've read some of the Reddit website talking about some of these things. But should we just have a little look at them? As you say, they're only like 1 minute something, or the last one's only 48 seconds. So here we go. Right. So this is tape 6, Family Vacation. There's not really any sound on them, so I don't need to share it so that there's sound for you, G. I think there's just some clattering noise or something. There's not a lot of sound. So in first contact in 1942, a series of diplomatic visits took place. Under the Treaty of 2304, these meetings would take place in secrecy. A limited number of special agents would escort visitors, and they would only meet high-ranking officers. According to document 072E, at the meeting of 1961, there was an incident involving 3 subjects due to the violation of the agreement by the officers at a military base. Then they discovered that their arrival has been filmed with a hidden device without their consent. Under the Treaty 2304, the meetings would be confidential and filming or taking photographs would not be allowed. Crikey, this is only a minute video. After the incident, the treaty was revised. Oh, I think that's it. So that's the first one.
So it's saying that this is some sort of meeting between aliens and government, and there was some sort of treaty that they weren't supposed to be filmed, but yet somebody did. Is that what it's saying?
Yes.
Right.
In response to posts about the documents, the material is an edited compilation of the documents that we have. Your opinion and conclusion you draw from this material do not depend on us. Maybe you are looking in the wrong direction. You are the ones who reject this material. Okay.
Okay. Where are these documents?
I have no idea.
Is that the video? Or
I guess
how
so.
long?
Sources will not be revealed. Information that may be involved any agency or people will not be disclosed. There is not any reference which may link the material to any organization that is working today and the material exposed. However, you are speculating and making... I think this is a response to someone who commented something, I guess.
Right.
I saw this isn't actually like... Material does not belong to any film, video game, television series, or any other commercial product that's been revealed. No one who is out of this may prove to be the owner of this material. No one who is out of this can prove he has in his possession the original material. Your guess is as good as mine on this. I've got no clue.
Okay.
The revelations of further material will depend on the events and people. You are the ones who created your own misinformation. Is that it? That's it. So, filtrate for declassification and dissemination through the internet and media. 7 videotapes with material recorded between 1942 and 1969. Material containing UFO incidents, recovery and study of extraterrestrial life forms. Due to the importance of these documents, maintaining the anonymity. The video contains sample edits, fragments of tape 5. Skinny Bob. Now that looks like CGI to me. But then aliens would look weird.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Oh, right. I didn't say anything.
Hey? Oh, I just said it looks like CGI to me.
So this piece of footage I'm familiar with.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
And the last one.
That's what I was talking about, where it's it's kind of looks like they're interviewing him or talking to him.
This is the last. This is the last bit. There we go.
So what do you think?
That was what is it called? Skinny Bomb. Well, what do I think? Well, I've been reading the very detailed analysis website.
Right.
So there are some things they point out. Bearing in mind that at the beginning they do say that the status of the videos is still unknown, right?
So whose website is this? Sorry.
Unknown. I don't know. It's a group of
Right.
it's a group of Redditors who got together and decided to analyze the death out of those videos. And I don't know if you can see the scroll wheel on the side, the scroll bar. Give you some idea of how long this page is. Right? It's hella long. So it talks about in detail the videos. Mm-hmm. It talks about the last video there, and deciphers the loading screen as top secret KGB archive. Mm-hmm. Says in Coptic Russian. But what they have determined is that video is overlaid with this old grain effect.
Yeah, that's very obvious.
That's a standard. They've matched it as a standard template. On all the videos, there's digital time codes down the bottom left corner, which would only exist in digital videos, not videos from the 1940s and 1960s. You wouldn't have digital overlays like that. No. They would be done with. If you got TV cameras, you'd have mirrors or something like that, or glass with a reflected or something like that. But it wouldn't be a digital overlay exactly like that. What else? They think that could be a Zeppelin, but they also then do a whole load of analysis on that footage, the house, how big the house would be, how far away the camera would be, the types of trees, the things that are in the foreground, whether the blur is correct.
It's a shame they've remained anonymous. The people that are behind this have done some good work, obviously.
The signposts, all sorts of things. They sort of stabilized image corrected that. They've asked for help identifying where this is. Oh, they found it by the looks of things. Anyway, you can read all this stuff. There's absolutely stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of it. All you can say is with these things, the digital timestamps and the grain is like applied After Effects. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that these people have kind of done this and presented this kind of information in this kind of way to shed better light on it. But to be honest with you, it saddens me that they have to do that, because I guess just glancing at those footage that were on that website, some of the elements that they discuss on here, not all of them, but are obvious, like that template filter. It's obvious that that's got a filter over the top of it if you know anything about editing or camera work. But I love that they've gone to this effort. But again, this is the sort of thing that makes me so angry. Go back to the Skinny Bob channel, or Ivan 3510. I mean, I said, what an awful name for a channel. But look how
Ivan
many
0135.
This is a channel that is presenting the world a bunch of, excuse my French, absolute shit, and has 21,000.7 subscribers, and yet channels that try and present the truth and give you good quality analysis and investigation, like ours, have 500 subscribers. The world is so backwards. It just it breaks me.
I mean, this one here just looks like really bad CGI to me. I mean, ignore all like the grain and whatnot. If it was cleaned up in color without all the edit post processing,
Ivan or the people behind this deserve a round of applause of being just so bold about doing such poor, and they're obviously tricking a lot of people, but yet it's so bad that they've found a way to make it almost make people go, oh, this could be real. I mean, I have seen this particular shot here. I've seen videos of people analyzing it and talking about how the eye movement of the entity could not be replicated through CGI or whatever. Bunch of BS, like the absolute opposite of someone then going into it in such detail and trying to give, valid explanations behind it. And oh my god, I can't believe it even gets to that point where people are trying to defend it.
Mickey says he's got to remember to unsubscribe from his friend Ivan.
Yeah, you best, Mickey. I'll be coming for you.
But you know when you see like computer games like GTA or something, and when someone moves, like they're rather than their clothes wrinkle like mine does there, it all kind of moves like rubber. It's like it doesn't. But I mean, you look at this thing move, and you look at this like arm here. It looks like it looks like a computer game when it moves. It doesn't look real. There's no you mean the size of the head. It just doesn't. I mean, all right, it's alien, so maybe it doesn't move like we move, but I don't know. It just doesn't look like it weighs anything, like a computer graphic.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But some people will just, I don't know why, some people will just look at this and just think there could be something to it.
Well, lots of people, even despite, all of this information here and, everything they go to, there are still people that will talk about the blinking and point out that it must be real.
So I am glad to see that you found this site that really goes to the effort. But then I also feel bad that somebody's put so much time and dedication into this, disproving it.
Even analysing the handprint.
Really, you didn't have to. If anybody's got any ounce of iota common sense, that Yeah, it just doesn't look genuine. And I don't know, even some of the people that I'm close to in the community might be hearing what I'm saying right now and go, "Oh my God, Jay, I can't believe you're saying that." But I'm sorry, I've just got to this point where, you do now and then get to a brick wall where you kind of ask yourself, why am I doing this? Because if nobody's going to watch the truth, but everybody's going to watch the crap and the fake, then why bother? And you have to try and brush yourself off and pick yourself up and get at it again, but it's difficult.
I think this is quite interesting, showing like actual 1940s like video next to this video to show how like that's what it should actually look like.
How the frame rate would work.
Yeah, it just it doesn't look right. Anyway, I don't know if it says down the bottom who's behind all this stuff, but
who Ivan is.
No.
Oh, they're giving a cash reward if anybody can find out who he is.
Yeah.
Smiler's back. Chewie's
Five to 30,000 for any information. Yeah, but this is just
it's me. I'm going to confess. I want the money.
Anyway, that was Skinny Bob. Hi, Smiler.
Skinny Bob.
Welcome back.
Well, that is enjoyable. You definitely appealed to my favourite subjects of Bigfoot and ufology so far.
And you'd never seen the Skinny Bob website before with all that information. I will put a link to that in the description of this video for anybody else that wants to go down the Skinny Bob rabbit hole. I'll add it to the description.
Definitely do. I'd enjoy checking that out and having a little bit more of a read for sure. I've got a video, if I can find it.
Would it be better if I played it? Or...
No, it's if you remember, it's pictures that I have an issue with, not videos. But it's intermittent. Don't start playing it as soon as don't put it into the studio just yet. Let me explain it a little bit. But okay, so I mentioned in my top 5 videos that one of my top 5 was I think the episode was entitled "Does This Prove Life on Mars?" Go into ancient civilization.
Are we going to Mars? Are we going to the Mars page?
We're going to Mars.
That's one of my favourite things.
Just short and sweetly, but ever since I've started this journey, specifically on YouTube, I guess, because I've said multiple times that I've been into ufology since my late teens, early 20s, but I guess I really started going down the rabbit hole of Mars when I started YouTubing, especially after that episode, Does This Prove Life on Mars? About 4 episodes later, I did another episode about Mars as well, which I can't remember what it was called. And that got me into something that I do a lot, and that's just going onto these different websites and analyzing all the photography that comes from the rovers and different full sort of where they put it all together so you can see the entire landscape and just scouring it and doing this pastime. You just get to this point where, I'm sorry, like, again, I'm going to be quite confident on my opinion on this, but you get to this stage where you cannot deny it's getting hard to say there must have been some other civilization on Mars at some point, even if it was billions of years ago, because there's just so many different things that you see on the planet. And what I'm really pleased about is that, in the very near future or in the next few decades, hopefully we're going to get humanity onto that planet, and we'll find out for sure. And I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident that something will be revealed because, did you see the takeoff of Spaceship 2, the second Starship, the second test flight of Starship? Did you see it? No, I didn't. Did anybody else see the second? I want to show you something. Do you mind quickly? No, not at all.
It blew up again, but they proved a lot of the things that they wanted to prove with the second test flight. Like, for example, all the engines, is it Raptor engines, fired because they've added water into the bottom of the launch pad this time, which they forgot to do on the first test flight. So it blasted a massive hole in the bottom of the launch pad and sent like car-sized chunks of concrete like thousands of feet in the air, like in all directions. And unfortunately, some of that concrete damaged some of the Raptor engines. So halfway into the launch, it started tumbling and they had to blow it up. And that was the first test flight. This time, Starship went up. All the engines fired. The launch pad did its job. It disconnected from Starship. It started the main stage started to rotate to come back and land, and then it all started going awry. But they got a lot further. But one thing that SpaceX did. Bear with me a minute. Post afterwards was this, which is really cool. I'll tell you what, I will present it so you can hear it because it is loud. But so this is a YouTube video from SpaceX. So we're on I've forgotten what the structure is that the rocket's attached to. They call it Mechazilla. That's what Elon Musk calls it, Mechazilla, the structure around spaceship. But unusually for a YouTube video, this is a 360-degree YouTube video, so you can actually like look around.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is the launch of the biggest rocket humans have ever made. There you go.
But even though it blew up, they found out what they needed to find out.
Yeah.
That they can blow things up.
Yeah. I mean, just look at that. I just think that's incredible. Do you want to see it blow up?
No, I'm okay.
You do want to see it blow up.
Okay, yeah, I want to see it blow up.
He really does. He really does. Sorry, and then I will get back to your thing. There we go. So,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
this is it taking off. You can see all the water in the bottom.
We got liftoff.
This is a lot bigger than the Saturn V that went to the moon. This is the biggest rocket that humanity's ever made. You can see down the bottom left that all the Raptor engines are firing. Anyway, I'll skip ahead. There it is. It's now 3,400 kilometers up. You'll see in a second that
and acquisition of signal Houston and New Orleans.
it's about to detach.
Booster engine cut off.
Booster engine cuts off and then it detaches. There it goes.
Stage separation.
Boost bank startup.
It starts to come back.
You're hearing the cheering. The first
The crowd are really happy.
Hot stage for SpaceX's Starship.
And then
Incredible views
Yeah, that
of our
doesn't look
super
right.
heavy booster.
ooh-ah.
And as you can see, the Super Heavy booster has just experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. However, our ship is...
It experienced a rapid, unscheduled disassembly.
That doesn't sound good. Boom.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a few weeks ago. But
cool.
It's SpaceX's vision that eventually they'll be sending one of them up like every other day. The biggest rocket ever made. Woof, woof. And the whole assembly line, the gigafactory that they're making to make these rockets, is almost going to be automated. They're going to come off the factory line, take it out to the launch pad, whoosh, up it goes, and it'll just keep going, and then it'll create like a farm of them. They'll take off, and all these starships will land on the moon and on Mars, and they'll have oxygen, water, supplies, farming equipment, shelters. It's going to build like a town. So then when they first send people up, they've got this whole infrastructure already laid out. So that's the plan in the next few years.
Well, since you inserted that bit of information that's Mars related, did you see the recent video of Perseverance singing "Happy Birthday" to itself?
No.
So basically, they'd obviously, not singing, it was humming the tune of "Happy Birthday." It was Perseverance's birthday recently, and the engineers must have programmed something into it for, on that certain day, it would hum the tune of "Happy Birthday." So it's basically got this video of Perseverance like driving around on Mars, with this tune going of "Happy Birthday," singing to itself because it's its birthday. They're cute.
I will check that out.
Yeah, you need to check that out. If you find it, put the link in the description. That other people watch it. It's quite funny. Anyway,
I've gone blue again. I don't know. Sometimes my camera goes bluish.
It's weird. It's one of those unexplained anomalies. So Mars. I was saying how I trawl through many, and I think for me, the thing that I guess caught my attention about Mars originally was, a lot of this anomalous stuff that can't be explained, different shapes and things like that. And I think I've moved away from that a lot. And what I'm looking at is what you would more call, I guess, architectural possibilities. And so I put a little bit of a short video. This is only a tiny essence. Like I could put a video like this together that lasts for an hour. So this is a very small essence of the sort of thing that I'm talking about. I put together in a quick, short little video of, you try and explain to me how, okay, maybe at some point Mars was very similar to Earth. It was very volcanic or whatever, but how does the growth of a planet, all of those different elements like plate movement, core changing, temperature change, how does it create some of the things that we see in some of these pictures? But play the video, Monte.
G-Star's Mars Essence. Oh, it's your music thing that you're playing. It's a stapler.
Got special focus on rivets.
Right angle. It's evidence of ancient technology.
There you go. Told It was only very, very
Oh,
short.
that's cool. What was that last one? Can we just have a look at that last one again?
Yes, yeah, by all means. That one's actually got a hole in it.
Oh, well, that like that black dot.
Yeah, that's a hole. Oh, I forgot to mention, sorry. All of these pictures are taken from either Curiosity rover or Perseverance rover. The ones that come from Perseverance rover are taken on Sol 165, and from Curiosity, they're taken from Sol 156. No, 154.
What are we looking at there?
We're looking at, I mean, look at the sort of like rivets in the stone. Can you not see that?
Oh, is it like a bolt type thing?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that looks like, you know, it could have been some sort of statue that's fallen over. And I mean, I don't know. It just looks like it's got masonry elements to it where it's been carved. Not carved. What do they call it? What you do with mason? Chiseled.
Chiseled.
Yeah. You know. But, you know, a lot of what I do is like focusing on structures, both from the aerial orbiter and also from, you know, the rover footage, concentrating on things that have right angles, because there's a huge amount.
That does look like a buried cube.
And it's very rare that right angles are naturally forming. And yet Mars is absolutely smothered in examples and things with right angles, whether you're looking at ground level or you're looking from orbit.
What's that one then?
That to me, I just thought was quite interesting because it sort of almost creates like a... You see the object that's like in the distance, it almost looks like the top part of what came off, but it's like because it's got a scoop to it. Again, it's you thinking about whether things like this can be naturally forming, because again, I've been quite lucky in my life to visit areas where, and I know you have as well, because if you go to the Canary Islands, they're pretty much all just, you know, old volcanic rock. And, you know, I've visited other areas outside of like volcanoes. Like I've been to the Grand Canyon, to the deserts of Arizona, you know, places where volcanoes have previously erupted, even in the last 200 years. And, you know, you get used to seeing what kind of rock nature makes from these kind of activities and movements. And yeah, some of the stuff that I see on Mars, I'm just like, I've never seen that in a naturally forming kind of way before.
Did
Certainly
you know,
right.
I watched a video this week. Sorry, I'm going to go off topic just because you said the Canary Islands. Do you mind if I just go off a little off topic?
Yeah, why not?
It's my way. I've got to show you. Did you know the Canary Islands are covered in pyramids?
Yeah.
I didn't. How could I not known that?
I was only there, as you know, a few weeks ago, and me and LJ are driving from Fortaventura, and I'm like saying to LJ, I'm sorry, but that looks like a pyramid.
There's pyramids all over the Canary Islands. And there's literally hundreds on Tenerife. I've been to Tenerife like 5 times. How can I have not known this? The main complex, I'll just show you. You know, it's on the west side. But if I just look at this. Never knew. That was there. It's on the east side of Tenerife.
I meant sorry, I meant like naturally forming pyramids.
No,
Like no rock structures that look like pyramids.
No, I mean actual stepped pyramids. There are actual stepped pyramids all over the Tenerife. There's about 150 of them.
Wasn't this featured briefly on Thingy's documentary about ancient civilizations? You know, that we covered.
I don't think. Well, may have, but
yeah,
I would have.
He talks about that.
I'm sure I would have like gasped if he had, because it was like it hit me like a bit of a. I was like, what? How can I have not known that? I've like literally driven past this place I don't know how many times, and I never knew it existed.
Another reason to go back to Tenerife again.
I'll have to go back again now.
So
forcing me into it. But yeah, this isn't the only one. Literally, there are loads of them, and not only Tenerife. They're all over Gran Canaria, Lanzarote. There's loads. Yeah, apparently there's. I don't know if I type in pyramids here, pyramids, whether it'll give me any others. Oh, it just gives me that.
Yeah, I mean, more and more evidence just keeps coming up as well to, you know, lean towards the ancient civilization. There's been a lot more stuff that's been coming up recently again.
The pyramids of Gurmar. But yeah, that's those ones. But yeah, no, there are others.
Yeah, he definitely speaks about the pyramids of Gurmar on.
Does he?
What's the documentary called? Lost.
Yeah, I must have just blanked. I must have just blanked that one.
I don't think he made a big deal about where the location of it was, though, and it wasn't one of the ones that was featured. You know, hugely. I don't think, but it was just Sure, yeah. I recognise the name.
Tenerife pyramids. I wonder if there's like a map of all the pyramids of Tenerife.
Well, before people forget
Carry
that
on.
I shared it, let me know what you thought of that video of the various photos from Mars and what you thought about some of the rock
I think it's fascinating, actually. Yeah, no, it's fast. Sorry, I got on a tangent, didn't I? And yeah, no, I think it's interesting, isn't it, when you see like things like right angles and you see things like that.
Yeah, I
don't
mean, if you
look
go
like
back to
nature. Now I know that you can also say like. Giant's Causeway, you know, in Ireland. If you look at those rocks in isolation, they don't look natural. But that's very rare, isn't it? That's not normal. That's not.
No.
So if you took a rover
on Mars as well,
if you took a rover, just like plopped it anywhere. Anywhere on any hill in you know on Earth, you wouldn't see an abundance of that kind of thing. But it seems that wherever the rovers look, they see something interesting.
If you just quickly put the video back into the studio, just don't play it, just keep it on the first shot. There you go, just pause it there. You know, this one in particular, where I was saying that it's got a hole in the side of it. You know, it's not the only piece of evidence or footage that shows rocks with holes in it, or so again, you know, when you talk about they just look like they're done with some sort of instrument. Yeah, and even that rock, look at the shape of it, then look at what's just below the hole towards the end. It almost looks like there's some sort of rivet in it as well. You know, that just looks like it was some sort of part of a structure, or you know, almost looks like the center of a door piece arch.
We're sure that that's not a hole that the rover made itself.
What, to take a sample, you mean?
Because it has drills and things on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that could be a possible explanation, but didn't certainly talk about that on the thing that I pulled it off of. But yeah, open to any possibilities. But I'm still just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Mickey said, "Does it say who built them?" I think he's referring to the
pyramids. There's a bunch of research been done on them, and it's inconclusive at the moment. There are some that think it's rocks. That's the problem, and there's no other evidence around it. So there's no So some believe it's evidence of cultures coming out of like making their way from Egypt or from Mesopotamia, making their way west to Central America. That this is like how the sort of culture of pyramid building and temple building spread, and this is the missing link. There are some that believe it was built by the indigenous population to the Canary Islands, because we see them all over the Canary Islands. And before the Spanish arrived, there was an indigenous, almost like Native American type population that lived there. And they think maybe they had some sort of ceremonial ritual purpose with the natives. And there are others believe that actually they were built relatively modern, like in the 18 and early 1900s, by Spanish farmers clearing their farms of pumice stones. And they had these heaps of pumice, and rather than do boring things with them, they put them to one side in stepped pyramid structures just for a laugh. Now,
well, surely they can carbon date and do all of that analysis to prove
you can't carbon date rock. Rock is just rock.
No, I mean, there's other versions with rock. I mean, carbon dating is. I know you can't use it on rock, but there's a version that you can use on rock to identify how old rock is.
As you say, it's just the output of lava flows. It's like pumice, and that's just been there on the side of the hill since the volcanoes erupted, and that's all they can tell from the rock, from when it came out of the ground. They can't really tell anything. If there was other circumstantial evidence lying around, like animal bones or something like that, then maybe they'd be able to tell something. But I think at the moment there's not anything like that. I think under that particular structure that we looked at, there's evidence that there may be a cave or something like that, and that might have been ritualistically significant to the indigenous population, and that's why they built that sort of temple-like structure there. There's others. If you look at it, can I just go back to that one? No, where are we? You see the way we've got the other weird thing, with normal temple-like things, you talk about right angles, right? It's usually a sign of civilization, right?
Design, yeah.
There's like not a right angle in this. It is literally all jaunty angles. Like there's just no squares. They're all rhombuses and things. Which is quite odd in itself. But they think that might have been, like, these might have been fields. Like, like rice fields. And this whole thing might have been to aid channeling water into fields. And then this would have been a ceremonial. I mean, it looks out to the rising sun in the east across the Atlantic Ocean to Africa. So, especially here, there's actually like steps leading up to like an altar.
Right.
So, I think this may be agricultural around it, with like a temple in the middle. I don't believe in the scientists that say it's just modern day farmers piling up pumice stones, because there are a lot of other Spanish farming sites on the side of volcanoes, you know, in like Majorca and other places. And there's no evidence of any other Spanish farmers doing this on any other Spanish colony. So it would be an odd thing for them to do, just start randomly doing here.
I think you just need to look at the logic of what is being suggested there. So you've got a farming community in the Canary Islands, which for the best part of the year is blimmin' hot. And so they're going to stand out in the sun farming all day. And then in their spare time, they're going to
build this.
Build this. I do not think so. I think that would be like, I don't know. That just doesn't seem logical as an option. Yeah, so I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. But anyway, it did completely blow my mind.
Great place to film a video.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. I'd love to
go
there.
I'd love to go back to. I'd love to go back to that amphitheater that we visited in Spain.
Oh, Italica, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, look at it, look. I mean, how could I have not known this existed?
How could you not have known? Are you not ashamed of yourself?
I am. I'm completely ashamed of myself. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Anyway.
Cool. Well,
Italica was an amazing place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where was that? That was...
It was the middle of Spain.
Yeah, we went to Gibraltar, didn't we? Was it?
It's not far from Seville. It's just like a little bit further on up over the mountains on the flats.
It was like over here somewhere, wasn't it? Or was it Italica? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think it was. It's spelt like the... Yeah, exactly that. But
we're going to zoom in right where I am. Oh, look at that, look.
There you go.
I was right on it. I just couldn't see it. But if you ever go to... do you know Seville is actually pronounced Sevilla? But Seville in Spain, this is really worth checking out, Italica. It's the best preserved amphitheater Colosseum structure next to the Colosseum.
It was commissioned and built by Emperor Trajan.
Yeah.
He used to be one of my favorite emperors, and it also used to be my gaming handle. When I played certain games, I was Trajan. So for that reason, we went and visited this when we were on holiday together in Marbella. So we travelled all the way from Marbella to here in a white van.
And there's these great. So underneath this this town plan you see here, there are like beautiful floors under all of it. But they don't want the sun to bleach the what do you call it, mosaics.
Yeah.
So what they do is, a bit at a time, they'll uncover one of the patches, put on a mosaic display, so you can see what it looks like under there, and they'll have that this year, and then what they'll do is at the end of the year they'll cover this over, and then they'll uncover another one and push all the earth back, so you can see what that one looks like, and then they'll cover that back up, and then they'll open up another one. So they kind of rotate the plot, so you can over time see different.
It's
floors.
really funny because there's a slap bang right in the middle of Spain, but it's obviously a Roman ruin. And what's really funny is like a lot of the areas of it, and certainly the walk up into it, it feels like you can see them on this picture. It's got, I can't remember what the name of those type of trees are, but they basically saturate Italy, so it kind of feels like
those trees
all of a sudden been transferred to Italy, and you're in the Gladiator, or visiting Gladiator's home. It's very, very cool.
awesome place to visit.
It's
And you
featured
could
in
go
Game of
down
Thrones.
underneath the amphitheater as well to the dungeon level. That's something that you can't even, always do in the main Colosseum in Rome. You can't visit the underneath levels. Sometimes you can on special tours, etc. Blah blah blah. But this was like we were just able to walk around it and wander ourselves, weren't we? And just go wherever you wanted to go. It was very cool. We went there on an extremely, extremely hot day. I think it was about 40 degrees.
It was baking. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were really struggling walking around. But it was utterly worth it. And I'd love to go back again when it's on a time when it wasn't so hot and be able to take a little bit more time to soak it all in.
And it's featured in Game of Thrones in like some of the final seasons where they meet, all the families meet in a tent in the middle of a, broken down amphitheater. It's actually this place. So it's a Game of Thrones location as well. It's super cool.
Did not know that.
Yep.
But there you go.
There you go. Right.
I think I'm going to have to say goodnight there because, early start in the morning to go to bloody work.
That's it. We got our November podcast done. I'm very happy. And tick. Thank you, Mickey and A Smile a Rainbow. And Tavikins Turner for popping by. Sean for popping by.
Sean, Andy.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Underground Paradox for joining.
Oh, yeah. What a loser.
Smiler. Tavi Mickey. Yeah. Oh, and that idiot called Monte band as well.
Oh, I was there. Yeah. Unexplained Files UK. They popped by. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yes. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Swinging by.
Yes, I'm off to spend the rest of the evening with Smiler Rainbow. So she's very pleased about that.
Nice.
So yeah, thank you. We might do a late December one. We'll fit one in maybe around Christmas time. Who knows? Wearing a Christmas hat.
We'll keep you guessing.
We'll see if we can fit one in. But if we don't see you then, check us out next Wednesday for another TNG review with myself, Mazim, Bob, Sean, and Tavi. And yeah. If we don't see you in the Monte Zone before Christmas, everybody have a great Christmas. And we'll see you next time.
Have a great one.
Cheers, guys.
Merry Christmas.
I should be doing that, shouldn't I, with my beard? Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.